Welcome back, everybody, to the Pittsburgh Pirates franchise here on MLB The Show 20. As today, we have a pretty long episode, got a lot of stuff to cover, so it should be a fun one. Get your popcorn ready because we've got a lot to do today. So we're going to go through most of July in this episode, going to play a game before the All-Star break, quickly go through the All-Star break, take a quick look at some of the events, and then we're going to pretty much go up to the trade deadline, which is where we will finish today's episode off, and then in the next episode, we will have the trade deadline. So currently, we are first place in the NL Central, 2 games ahead of the Milwaukee Brewers, and if the season ended today, the NL playoff picture would be pretty much exactly the same, with the same 5 teams. I think the seedings are also the same, which is a little bit wild. In the American League, it is a little bit different, specifically with the defending champion Indians towards the bottom of the NL Central. Looking at the numbers, I do want to talk about Pablo CAIRO real quick because I really think he has ascended into superstardom. Obviously, we know his power has taken a drastic increase, but he's been on a roll contact-wise as well, currently hitting .321 on the season, has an OPS above 1,000, and I think he has developed into a superstar in front of our very own eyes. At just 20 years old, it's very fun to see one of the players that we handpicked in this series blossom into a great, great player. Looking at the pitching rotation, I think the biggest thing to talk about is Mitch Keller. 2.61 ERA is the long reliever out of a bullpen. He has been excellent this year, and Jordan Yamamoto has not had a great past month or so. So if Mitch Keller keeps pitching really well, I'm not opposed to moving Keller to the starting rotation and having Yamamoto as the long reliever. So just something to consider. Remember last episode of the bullpen, we did make Jose Alvarado the closer instead of Ken Giles. And so far, I think that move has paid off. I think Alvarado's done really well as the closer, and Ken Giles seems to be adjusting fairly well as the setup man. So I would simulate the first game in this Blue Jay series, and the Pirates would lose 5-2, bringing them at 59-31 here on the young season. Game 2 of the 2-game set at home against the 50-43 Toronto Blue Jays. The Blue Jays have a really fun young squad. Let's take a look at these numbers real quick that just show how good this Pirates lineup has been this year. Definitely the best lineup in baseball. But Toronto has a really talented core as well, headlined by Vlad Guerrero Jr. and Max Muncy in the middle. They've got a lot of talented players. Jared Kelenic, George Springer, Kyle Schwarber, a really solid squad. It'll be the ace, Jameson Taillon, getting the start today for the Pirates. 10-4, 3.32 ERA, 1.18 WHIP. Not an outstanding season, but he's played fairly well for the most part. Here is Vladdy Jr. 2-2 count with 2 outs here in the first. Going to fly this one out to Pablo CAIRO. Quick 1-2-3 inning of work from Jameson Taillon. So far, so good for the Pirates as we go to the bottom of the first. Trent Thornton will be getting the start today for the Toronto Blue Jays. He's had a pretty good season so far. 7-4, 3.14 ERA, 1.12 WHIP. Pretty much what you ask for from a number 2 or number 3 starter in your rotation. Thornton has been really solid. Runner on first here, 1 out for Josh Bell. Draws a walk. Thornton has already thrown 2 walks today, so the control looks like a little bit of an issue early on for him. Now runners on the corners. 2 away for Benny Ling, who just won the National League Player of the Month for the month of June. He rips a single into center field. And Benny Ling is red hot right now at the plate. He has been playing his best baseball this season as of late, as the Pirates will lead this game 1-0. On to the top of the second. Here is Lourdes Gurriel Jr. Going to go down swinging on before seeing fastball. Nice K from Taillon. Kyle Schwarber now. He gets caught up by the 2-seamer. Swung a little bit too late at that one. And Jameson Taillon is on a roll through 2 innings. Let's go to the bottom of the second, see if Pittsburgh can try to extend their lead, and they would not as we advance to the third. Thornton up. He goes for the bunt. The Pirates' double play attempt is successful. It's always risky to go for a double play in that scenario when the pitcher bunts it, or I guess anyone bunts it. But the Pirates go for it, and it works out. And the inning comes to a close as Jared Kelenic strikes out looking. Good work from Jameson Taillon up to this point. 3 innings, no earned runs allowed. 1-0 remains the scores. We go to the bottom of the third. Runner on, 2 outs for O'Neal Cruz, who mashes a bomb into straightaway center. 441 feet for his 28th home run of the season, which ties the Major League lead for home runs. There are a number of players tied for first place, including Josh Bell, I believe Christian Yelich, as well as 28 of the rival Brewers. But, I mean, O'Neal Cruz just crushed that ball. That one was a no-doubter. But the Pirates are not quite done yet in this inning. Following batter, Benny Ling, going to get this one into right for a double. The Pirates have a nice 3-0 lead here, but they're trying to add some more runs. Pitching coach going to talk it out with Thornton, who obviously has not had a great stretch in this inning. And the inning will come to a close as Dylan Carlson with a weak fly out. Muncy will make the play, but still a good inning as O'Neal Cruz will extend the lead for Pittsburgh on a 2-run blast. We got to take a look at this replay again, just see how far it went. I believe it went off of the wall behind the grass that says Pirates right here. It goes, literally went off that wall, which I think just goes to show how deep it was. On to the fourth. Here's Kevin Biggio. He's just a window shopper. Say it with me, kids, because he's just looking. Jameson Taillon tied for second in the National League in wins. Only Mike Soroka with 11 has more. Muncy now is jammed by the inside slider, and Jameson Taillon is pitching himself a gem through 4 innings. Let's move to the bottom of the fourth now. It's Francisco Mejia gets this one into center. Kelenic misplays it. That's going to drop for extra bases. Mejia thinks about going to third, will retreat back to second where he is barely safe. But he is safe nonetheless as the Pirates get themselves a runner in scoring position with nobody out. That'll bring up McGill and Duhar. 1-2 pitch. He goes down on the splitter. He looked like he wanted to take that ball a yard. Good strikeout from Thornton, his first of the game. Mejia now on third. 2 away for Wander Franco, who will single it into center for a base hit, and the Pirates will now make it 4-0. Pittsburgh's offense is churning right now as we go to the top of the fifth. 1-2 count for George Springer. Bang! Bang! Bang goes for trash cans in the dugout. George Springer knew what was coming, and he takes it deep. The former Houston Astro with his 18th home run of the season. And the Toronto Blue Jays are finally on the board as it is now 4-1. Here is Reese McGuire now with a single into left. Kids, don't be like Reese McGuire. If you want to Google him, you can do that. He's done some shady stuff in the past. But if you're under the age of 12, I wouldn't advise it. If you get it, you get it. 2 on, 2 out now for Jared Kelenic. He flies out to right. Good inning of work from Taillon. He did allow a run off of the George Springer bomb, and a few runners left on base. It seems like Toronto is starting to play a little bit better as they make this game a little bit more manageable. But can they keep it manageable here in the bottom of the fifth? As O'Neal Cruz starts things off with a single. That ball deflected off of Trent Thornton's leg, who is a little bit shaken up. He'd have a talk with the catcher, Reese McGuire, but they're going to signal to the dugout that he is all good. That would bring up Benny Ling now, who is 2 for 2. Let's make it 3 for 3. Ling into the left center gap, and it's gone. Scrapes over the fence for a home run, his 19th of the year. And the Pittsburgh Pirates will extend their lead even more as it is now 6-1. Pittsburgh's offense is continuing to play really well. They ended the previous series against the Cubs with a combined total of 30 runs in the final 2 games, which just goes to show that this offense, when they're hot, they're hot. Pitching change for Toronto. Jose Suarez will enter. Suarez is a pretty important piece in this series because the Pirates actually had him going into Season 2. He was part of the Bo Bichette trade, and then obviously Bo Bichette was used to get Wander Franco. So if not for Jose Suarez, Wander Franco is probably not on this Pirates team right now. But it seems like Pittsburgh is going to kind of get a little revenge on him here as with a runner on and 1 out, Miguel Andujar with a blast-off into right center field, his 11th home run of the season. And all of a sudden, it is 8-1. That's a big number on the scoreboard as Pittsburgh is really continuing to hit the ball well. I believe Pittsburgh has 3 home runs on the day, and everything is looking up for the Pirates. Even Jameson Taillon is joining the hit barrage as he hits a single into right. Springer will retreat it, but not before it drops for a hit. And when Taillon's getting a hit, you know that something has to change if you're a pitcher. And I wouldn't be surprised if they make a pitching change now, as the following batter, Wander Franco, will go deep, his 18th home run of the season, and Pittsburgh all of a sudden leads this game 10-1. 6 runs here in the 5th inning, and there is still only 1 out. We are not done yet. There is a lot of baseball left to be played here in the bottom of the 5th, as Jose Suarez will unsurprisingly be taken out of the game, and Thad Ward will enter. He's been used as the long reliever, and he's been pretty solid for Toronto. As here's Josh Bell going to draw a walk. First and second, still 1 out, by the way. I mean, this inning has just been an absolute disaster for the Toronto Blue Jays. They just cannot get anything right, as Josh Bell has 3 walks today. Kind of wild. O'Neal Cruz now will get this one to drop into right for a single, or into left, sorry. The left fielder should have thrown it to third, because Pablo CAIRO probably would have been out. Instead, he throws it to second, where the runner is safe. So now the bases are loaded here for Benny Lang, who is now 4 for 4. 2 singles, a double, and a home run. The home run was earlier in this inning, by the way, as it is now 11-1. The bases are still loaded with 1 out. This inning just continues to be a disaster. Dylan Carlson now grounds this one to second. Toronto trying to turn 2, and they are unsuccessful. Carlson is safe at first. A runner will come home to score. I believe that's Josh Bell, and it is now 12-1. 8 runs here in this inning. And finally, Toronto will escape this nightmare. Pittsburgh all of a sudden leads it 12-1. They put up 8 runs in the 5th inning. And yeah, this is looking like a disaster for the Blue Jays. We're going to speed by this game a little bit quicker, unless something crazy happens, as the Pirates are going to take Jameson Taillon out. There's no point in keeping him, considering Pittsburgh is up by 11. So they want to see some more innings from Mitch Keller. Probably have him finish out this game. And Keller's day would not start off particularly hot, as his first 2 batters, Kevin Biggio and Vladimir Guerrero Jr., will reach base. Vladdy Jr. gets it on a single. Here's Max Muncy now. This one looks like it'll be a double play. And the Pirates are successful. O'Neal Cruz went flying there, making the throw to first, but nonetheless, Pittsburgh turns 2, and the inning will end with a Lourdes Gurriel strikeout. So Toronto had a pair of hits early in the inning, but were not able to get anything going. As we go to the bottom of the 6th, Thad Ward remains in the game. Here is Pablo CAIRO. That one looked like it would have been a base hit, but Gurriel with a big play, potentially stopping a run from scoring, and it will remain 12-1. Shout out to Thad Ward for getting a scoreless inning there, as this game continues to look more and more like a disaster. George Springer on first here in the top of the 7th. Nobody out for Kyle Schwarber, who will get this one into right field for a double. Springer at the plate is going to be safe, and Toronto will make this game a little bit closer. They're only down by 10. Kids, put your rally caps on, because the dream is still alive. There's Kelenic striking out, so it looks like the Blue Jays will have to make their big rally in the 8th or 9th inning if they want to win. Nick Birdie will enter for Toronto. He's had a fine year this season, as he totally fools Benny Lang there. Lang was 4 for 4 before that strikeout. Now he's 4 for 5. So let's go to the top of the 8th. Keller still in for Pittsburgh as he gets Vlad Jr. to go down on the curveball. 2-1, 1 out now for the Lourdes Gurriel Jr. It'll be a single into left field, and the bases are loaded. Toronto is really trying to make a comeback here for George Springer, and it looks like the bases might be cleared. George Springer, who's had a spectacular game today, shop and gap a 3-run double, and Toronto will cut the lead down to 7. George Springer has reached base on every single at-bat today, and unfortunately for him, nobody else on his team has been all that good. But Toronto's really trying to make this rally, as Kyle Schwarber now getting in on the fun. That'll be an RBI double for Schwarber, and it is now 12-6. Toronto is not going to give up. They are resilient right now. Reese McGuire now with a single into center. Schwarber headed home. The play at the plate, actually there will be no play at the plate. Schwarber is safe, and now it is 12-7. Toronto with 5 runs here so far in this inning. After that base hit, the Pirates would make a pitching change. Emmanuel Clase will enter the game. He's had a really good season, but does not start today off particularly well. His first batter is Jared Kelenic. Kelenic with a triple. That'll score 2. And all of a sudden, it is a 3-run game. The Blue Jays have put up 7 runs here in the top of the 8th. There is still only 1 out, by the way. 2 on now for Vladimir Guerrero Jr. He will fly this one out to center. So Toronto, they are not done fighting. They cut the lead down from 10-3 with a 7-run inning. And this game ain't over. The Blue Jays have a momentum. We'll see if they can hold on in the 9th. But first, we got to go to the bottom of the 8th. The former Pirate, Michael Givens, will enter the game. Givens was on the team last year, and he was obviously let go. And I think the Pirates do not regret letting him go, considering his ERA is in the 6s. 2 on, 2 outs here for Wander Franco. Will ground this one to first. Max Muncy makes the play as Givens will get out of the inning. Can Toronto score 3 and make an improbable comeback? Or can Pittsburgh hold on and get their 60th win of the season? Jose Alvarado, the new closer, will enter the game. 5 saves and 7 opportunities this season. Here's George Springer, who's been pretty much perfect today. He flies out to left. That's how this game is over. The Pittsburgh Pirates will win it 12-9. But you got to give Toronto a ton of credit. They were down by 10 going into the top of the 8th. They fought back, put up 7 in that inning, but not enough. Kelenic had that big triple. Springer with a dinger. Thornton gets the loss, and the loss isn't solely on him, but he didn't play all that well. Pittsburgh's lineup was incredible. The only main starter not to get a base hit today was Josh Bell, who had 3 walks. Home runs for Franco and Duhar, Cruz, and Lane. Benny Lane had 4 hits today as Jameson Taillon gets the win. Mitch Keller allowed 7 runs. He was very unimpressive. So we're going to simulate this Dodgers series, get out to All-Star Weekend. But first, I do want to take a look at the Futures game. I just want to see who is on the roster. We have 2 players, including the starting pitching for the NL team, Patrick Magana, who is our top prospect, and Manuel Medrano, a talented shortstop. Medrano is not anywhere near MLB ready, but Magana could be. Maybe we call him up later in the season. So we win 3 of 4 against the Dodgers, including putting up a casual 20 runs in Game 2. Something light. 7 RBIs for Franco. He goes 5 for 5. 3 RBIs for Bell, 4 for Mejia, 4 for Pablo CAIRO. And yeah, this is an absolutely incredible performance. We drew 10 walks as well. So that 18 hits plus 10 walks, that's 28 base runners. That means everybody on average reached base 3 times. That's nuts. So here we are at the All-Star break, half a game ahead of the Brewers. Milwaukee is playing really good baseball. Looking at the Home Run Derby, we have 2 participants, Oneil Cruz and Josh Bell, who are facing off against each other in the first round. I'm not going to play the Home Run Derby this year just because I want to keep the season going quickly, so we will simulate the Home Run Derby. I do want to see what happens, and hopefully one of our 2 players can take home the crown. In this series, Josh Bell has won 3 Home Run Derbies. He won it in the first 3 seasons. He did not win it last year, but he does beat Oneil Cruz in round 1, so the Josh Bell dream is still alive. He then beats Jorge Soler, which brings up a final round between Josh Bell and Franmil Reyes. I wanted a Josh Bell-Christian Yelich final. The Pirates and the Brewers, the rivalry, that would have been fun, but unfortunately, Franmil Reyes ends up beating Josh Bell in the end, so congratulations to Franmil Reyes. Unfortunately for him, his Padres are going to lose in the NLDS again. Shots fired! So let's take a look at the All-Star rosters now. We had, I believe, 6 All-Stars, including Ken Giles for whatever reason. This is the 2nd straight year Ken Giles has made an All-Star team, even though he has not pitched all that well. Francisco Mejia makes the All-Star game along with Aramis Garcia, who is a 187 average. Josh Bell makes the All-Star game, unsurprisingly. I think he's been the starting first baseman in all 5 All-Star games in this series. The top 2 shortstops are Wander Franco and Oneil Cruz. I wish the game was smart enough to put Wander Franco at second because that's where we play him. And then in the outfield, first-time All-Star Pablo CAIRO, who is now up to 339. Yeah, he is on an absolute tear right now. Second among right fielders, only behind Christian Yelich. Looking at the American League, Julio Urias made it as a starting pitcher, the former Pirate who was not very good with us the past 2 seasons. We let him walk, and it seems like he's rejuvenated his career with the LA Angels, so good for him, I guess. Got a catcher hitting 175. You love to see that realism from MLB The Show. What game is more stupid when it comes to stuff like this? MLB The Show or Madden? I don't really know. There's my guy, Ramon Laureano, probably my favorite player in the majors who's not on the Tigers. For those who don't know, I am a Tigers fan, and yeah, obviously, it's not the most fun, but, I mean, at least the Tigers got themselves a future. So the AL would beat the NL in the All-Star game 4-2, and nobody scored after the second inning. It was 4-2 after 2, and then nobody scored after that. So shout out to the guys who came in after the starter who played really well, because the starters clearly did not for either team. So we're going to do some simming. We had a quick little trade here. The Padres are acquiring Tyler Beede from the division rival Giants. Speaking of the Giants, we would sweep them, including putting up 15 runs in a game. And now we have a series here against the Padres. We would lose game 1, 13-0. How'd the tides turn, am I right? Jordan Yamamoto and Mitch Keller both pitched very poorly. I was talking about them competing for the 5th starter spot. I don't think either of them want to be that 5th starter. So maybe Patrick Magana becomes the new 5th starter. Call him up from AAA. I don't know. It's possible. Let's see what happens here in Game 2 of that 3-game series. Pittsburgh trying to rebound. This is the Pirates' 100th game of the season, by the way. And as you can tell, Dylan Carlson and Francisco Mejia are getting the day off. So it'll be Travis Swaggerty and Juan Cedeno starting. Cal Quantrill on the mound for the Padres. He's having a nice year. And by the way, Fernando Tatis Jr. is not in the Padres lineup today because he is out for the year with an injury. And he's a free agent in the offseason, which makes things real dicey. Here's Wander Franco. He gets into the warning track. Pittsburgh did not score yesterday against San Diego, but they nearly score on the first at bat of the game, but to no avail. One at the bottom of the first after a good 1-2-3 inning from Quantrill, as it'll be Adonis Medina getting the start today. Here is Ron Hogue. He lines out to Oneil Cruz. Quick 1-2-3 inning for Medina. The Pirates almost picked Ron Hogue in the very first draft of the series. Instead, they took pitcher Santiago Osuna. I'm sure the Padres are very happy with Hogue, and obviously Pittsburgh is more than happy with Santiago Osuna. So that looked like it was a win-win for both sides. Top of the second now. Nobody's gotten a base runner until now as Oneil Cruz opening up the inning with a double, sliding safely into second, as Oneil Cruz continues to be one of the best bats in baseball this year. Benny Lane now, they're going to call that a strike. Count was full 2. I thought that was a ball, so did Benny, but he's going to go down looking. Travis Swaggerty now up at the plate. He's on a cold streak, hitting .224 at the moment as he gets hit by the pitch. He did check swing, but they are going to say he did not go around, so Swaggerty reaches base. 2 on, 2 out for Miguel Andujar, who gets a high slider and will pop out to first. Ron Hogue will make the catch as San Diego gets out of a little bit of a jam. Nice hairdo, by the way. Look at Ron Hogue's hair. Bottom of the second now. The man who beat Josh Bell in the home run derby, it's Franmil Reyes, who rips a double into right center. Reyes started his career at the Padres, then traded to the Indians. Now he's obviously back with the Padres. Manny Machado now with a double. That one gets past the glove of CAIRO. Reyes heading to the plate. That'll actually be a triple, for Manny Machado, the $300 million man, as the San Diego Padres will score first. They lead it 1-0. Nobody out, by the way. They have an easy shot to score Machado. They would do just that, as Luis Campusano will ground out, but Machado does score, so the Padres now lead this game 2-0. Medina trying to get out of the inning here as Trent Grisham will ground this one. Oneil Cruz with a diving play, and he's out at first. What a play by Oneil Cruz. The Padres did score 2 in that inning, but who cares because Oneil Cruz had one of the best defensive plays I've seen in this series. An incredible diving play by Cruz to end the inning, but San Diego does now lead it 2-0. Let's go to the third now. Pablo CAIRO with a runner on and 1 out. A quick double play. Look at this shortstop, C.J. Abrams, with a quick flip over to second as the creepy mascot is going to do creepy belly dances. We're just going to look away and go to the bottom of the third now. Here's C.J. Abrams. He's just a window shopping because he's just looking. Nice strikeout for Medina, his third of the day, and we go to the fourth. Pirates have not scored yet, but that might change here. Big ding, Benny Lane will go deep in the left field, his 20th home run of the season. Benny Lane is a very weird player. He's good in 5 out of 6 months of the MLB season, And in 1 month, he's the best hitter in Major League Baseball. He's done this every single year of his career. This year is no exception. He's probably been the best hitter in baseball this past month. As we go to the bottom of the 4th, another ridiculous defensive play by Oneil Cruz to get Franmil Reyes out. Now, Reyes isn't the fastest, but still a nice defensive play. Top of the 5th now, 2 away for Wander Franco. That'll be a double into the gap, and this game is tied up at 2. The Pirates have been able to march back with the late home run, and now the Franco double. Is Pittsburgh done? It doesn't look like it. Pablo CAIRO will get this one into right, and it will bounce for an extra base hit. CAIRO advancing to third. The throw from Profar is in time, so CAIRO is not safe, but Wander Franco does score, and it is now 3-2. The Pirates have taken the lead as we go to the bottom of the 5th. Andrew Vaughn, the pinch hitter, up here with 2 outs, and he's going to ground this one to short. Oneil Cruz, who's had 2 insane defensive plays today, cannot get the routine play. Vaughn is safe at first. We'll see if that one comes back to bite Pittsburgh in the rear end. C.J. Abrams now. This one is high and deep into right, and it's gone. If Oneil Cruz does not misplay the ball on the previous play, inning is over, it would be 3-2, but instead, it's 3-4. Are the Padres done, however? It doesn't look like it, as this one gets past the glove of Swaggerty. Awful defense in this inning from Pittsburgh, and they're trying to hand the Padres runs, or so it looks like. Tham reaches second. We'll see if they're able to drive them in. The answer is yes. Ron Hogue with a single into center. Tham will score fairly easily, and it is now 5-3. It would be 3-2, but because of both of these errors by Pittsburgh, they kind of get screwed, and the inning will finally come to an end, as will Adonis Medina's day. 5 innings, only allowing 2 runs, but the Padres have a 5 on the scoreboard. Not all Medina's fault. He played well today. Andres Munoz is in for the Padres. This guy has absolute gas. Want to see it? 102 miles an hour. I told you this guy could throw hard. Oneil Cruz now. How far does this go? 102 miles an hour. This guy might be the hardest throwing pitcher in all of baseball, which says a lot. Bottom of the 6th, Raisel Iglesias enters for the Pirates. He's had a fine year. Nothing crazy good, but not bad by any means, as Jurickson Profar will get jammed by an inside fastball caught by Miguel Andujar. So a good inning of work from Iglesias. Score remains 5-3 with 3 innings to go. We'll see if the Pirates can make a comeback or if San Diego will win, as the veteran Kirby Yates will now enter for San Diego. This is his 56th appearance of the season. Dylan Carlson enters as a pinch hitter. 1-2 pitch. They're going to say he went around. So Carlson, in his lone at-bat of the game, will strike out on a check swing, and we go to the bottom of the 7th now. Wander Suero will enter for the Pirates. Obviously, he's had a pretty poor season. He's played a little bit better as of late, but I mean, he has still been a massive disappointment, and his day would not start off particularly well as Trent Grisham gets this one into left. Swaggerty unable to make a play. And that'll be a double for San Diego. The 11th on the year for Trent Grisham. Can they drive them in? It does not look like it, as Tommy Pham will ground out to third, and Duhar's play is barely in time, so the Pirates do get out of the inning. The score is now still 5-3 as we go to the 8th. Let's see if Pittsburgh can start their comeback rally here, as Emilio Pagan will enter, has an ERA at around 5. Wander Franco, 2-2 pitch. He looks at the 90-mile-an-hour cutter. That one went right down Main Street. Pablo CAIRO now, 1-1 pitch. This one is going to be jammed into right, and it's caught. Jurickson Profar, what a play for the second out of the inning. Profar, the native of, I think, the Netherlands or some foreign country out there in Europe, who's kind of random. Here's Josh Bell now. He gets fooled by the breaking ball. Good inning for Pagan. Let's go to the bottom of the 8th now. Suero will remain in the game as Oneil Cruz, with a nice diving effort, he goes to second for some reason, and the runner is unsurprisingly safe. So that'll put 2 runners on base here. 1 out, 2 outs now for Jurickson Profar, and this one will drop into right for a hit. That'll score 2. It wouldn't have scored 2 had O'Neal Cruz just made the one out at first. So if it weren't for errors, the Padres would have 2 runs today. Instead, they have 7. Trent Grisham now going to fly out to right. Bell makes the play. But the Pittsburgh Pirates are down 4 going into the top of the 9th. A comeback is unlikely, but I suppose it's possible. The Padres would enter in the former Pirate, Dellin Betances. Betances' tenure with Pittsburgh wasn't a very long one. He was acquired towards the middle of Season 3 at the trade deadline. Got hurt super early on. He might have pitched like 3 games with Pittsburgh. That trade was definitely a flop. O'Neal Cruz going to open the inning up, and he opens it up in a big way. A ground rule double. He knew he had to start the rally, and that's what he did. That'll bring up Benny Lane, who has 1 home run today. This might make it 2. Is it deep enough? It's going to be close at the track at the wall, and it's gone. Benny Lane with a 2-run shot, his 21st of the season and his 2nd in this game. Benny Lane has been the best hitter in baseball in the past month, as it is Benny Mania right now. Miguel Andujar, the following batter now with a single into center. Still no outs, by the way. Pittsburgh is not out of this game. They're only down by 2. A rally certainly is in the cards. Pitching change for San Diego as Matt Strahm, the closer, will enter. 14 saves and 15 save opportunities this season. We'll see if he can make it 15 for 16. After a Swaggerty flyout, Francisco Mejia will enter the game for Juan Cedeno. The Pirates want their best players in the game, and that's what Mejia is, as the former Padre will fly out to right. Pittsburgh is now down to their final out. It's the 9-hole hitter, so they're going to put in a pinch hitter, and that'll be Ke'Bryan Hayes, the 3rd-year man. Let's see what he can do here. Count is 2-1. Pitch from Strahm, and this one is hit nicely into center for a base hit. And the dream stays alive. This game still is not over. That would bring up Wander Franco now. 3-1 pitch. He draws a walk. And the bases are loaded. 2 outs for Pablo CAIRO. He's had a few situations like this in this year and has not been clutch. Let's see about this one. As it goes into right, it's going to be close, and it drops. It gets past the glove of Franmil Reyes. A ground rule double. 2 runs will score. And we are tied up at 7. I thought that one was going to be caught by Reyes, but he doesn't get to it fast enough. And Pablo CAIRO was clutch this time. It is now 7-7. It would have been really cool if Josh Bell got a hit there, taking the lead for Pittsburgh, but he grounds out to 3rd. So Pittsburgh leaves 2 runners in scoring position, but they're still alive. They put up the 4 runs they needed. And this one's not over as we go to the bottom of the 9th. Ken Giles will enter the game. He's pitched quite a bit better since moving to his new role as he strikes out Tommy Pham. 1-2-3 inning, and through 9, this game is not over. We need extra innings here in San Diego. We've got a lot of cutscenes seeing the Tony Gwynn statue. I mean, Tony Gwynn is an all-time great, but can we have some variety, please, MLB The Show? On to the 10th. O'Neal Cruz started the last inning off with a double, and he starts this one off with a double. O'Neal Cruz with 3 doubles today, 24 on the season, and Strahm will be removed from the game. Gerardo Reyes will enter. He is a 3.42 ERA, having himself a pretty nice year. Looks like he walks a lot of batters, though. That pitch was a ball, but Swaggerty swung at it, and he is going to be out. So O'Neal Cruz is unable to score. Game remains tied 7-7 as we go to the bottom of the 10th. The Padres want to start this inning with an extra base hit, and they'll do just that. Ron Hogue with a double, and now the Padres have a runner in second base with no outs. This is the situation the Pirates were just in the last inning and didn't score, as it's the former Pirate, Jason Martin, who was part of the Francisco Mejia trade all the way back in Season 1. Lines out to Benny Lane. The Padres are unable to score, and we now go to an 11th inning. Jose Castillo will enter for the Padres. He has an 8.2 ERA. And this is Pittsburgh's opportunity to pounce as the pinch hitter. Cesar Hernandez hits it nicely, but C.J. Abrams with a really good defensive play. We go to the bottom of the 11th. Caleb Ferguson enters for Pittsburgh, the longtime LA Dodger, who's had a really good first season as a Pirate. Nobody out here as Jurickson Profar steals second. And for the second straight inning, the San Diego Padres have a runner in scoring position with no outs. One away for Rowdy Reed. He draws a walk. Now the Padres have 2 runners on. That'll bring up C.J. Abrams. Grounder to Ferguson, and the Pirates will get out of the jam. They turn the 1-6-3 double play, an unusual double play combination. 11 innings down, we still do not have a winner as the game remains tied at 7, and we now go to the 12th. Pablo CAIRO will strike out, first out of the inning, as Jose Castillo is actually pitching pretty well, despite what his ERA tells you. Benny Lang now goes down on the four-seam fastball. That'll end the top of the 12th. Nobody has scored yet here in these extras. We'll see if the Padres can bring it home in the bottom of the 12th. Ron Hogue up at the plate with 1 out, and he gets this one foul into left. I thought that one was going to be fair. It looked fair, but it's not, and instead, he will ground out to third, and it doesn't look like the Padres are going to get anything in here in the 12th, as Hogue was nearly safe at first. That was a very close call. Here's the following batter now, Franmil Reyes, 1-2 pitch. He goes down looking at a curveball right in the middle of the zone. Ferguson gave him a really nice pitch, but he just let it sail by. On to the 13th, the final remaining relief pitcher, Zach Davies, the line reliever, will enter here for San Diego. Here's Miguel Andujar opening up the inning. What in God's name was that? Andujar would eventually be out, as here is Francisco Mejia with 2 away. High fly ball deep and a right, and it's gone. The first run in this extra inning is a home run by Francisco Mejia, who did not enter the game until the 9th inning, is the potential hero for Pittsburgh if they can hold on. After Nico Goodrum would reach base, that'll bring up Wander Franco, who will fly out to right. With Goodrum up at the plate, that meant that every single one of Pittsburgh's bench bats has entered the game today, and they don't have any batters on their bench. If the Pirates score this inning and we have a really long game, that could be a problem, but with somebody as good as Jose Alvarado, I don't think that'll be too much of an issue for San Diego. Machado opens the inning off with a walk. Okay, maybe San Diego might score here. Jurickson Profar now with 1 out, singles it into right. This game is far from over. All the Padres need is a base hit, and this game is probably tied at 8. That will bring up Rowdy Reed now. Runners on the corners, 2 outs, and this one is over. That one looked like it was going to be a base hit, but Benny Lang with a great defensive play, and the Pirates win it by the final score of 8-7. 2 home runs today for Benny Lang, 4 base hits for O'Neal Cruz, 3 of which went for doubles. Francisco Mejia was the hero. He had the final home run. The Pirates allowed 7 runs, although if it weren't for bad defensive plays, they would have allowed like 2. Nonetheless, both lineups were really good today. The starter for San Diego, Cal Quantrill, was pretty solid. He wasn't great. And then the bullpen was fairly spotty, particularly Dellin Betances, who was not great. So we're going to simulate the next 6 games, go up to the trade deadline, but we do have another trade. Another interdivision trade with the NL West, as the Rockies receive reliever Reyes Maranta from the Giants. So we would lose the final game against the Padres, take 2 of 3 against the Cardinals, and they're up 2-0 against the Cubs. So that'll put us at 71-35, just behind the Brewers in the division. So we are not in first place heading into the trade deadline. Will we make a big move next episode? What do you guys think we should look for? Let me know in the comments below. I'm out. Deuces.